Kyle here from allmeatreviews.blogspot.com, the All Meat Reviews podcast, number 10. Kind of in a time crunch. I have like 20 minutes or about that. But I don't know how many topics I'm going to talk about. I'm going to possibly 2 or 3. But the first topic has to be about this band that I've discovered over the last week and change called Dirt Poor Robins, ROBINS. I've just been totally won over. I have not discovered a band I've enjoyed and been impressed by, with a combination of also being so unknown with very little following and has been around as long as they have in a long time. The closest thing I was thinking, like maybe Small League Sink Ships back in 2015, even though I'd known them, but this band has 5 albums. Their most recent album came out in 2017. It's the third part of a series of albums called The Raven Locks Acts. The Raven Locks Acts 3 was the one that came out in 2017. I love The Deer Hunter, DEAR, and I need to make an entry about the recommended, if you like, for fans of, for The Deer Hunter. This band would be at near, if not at the top. I am absolutely blown away by them, by their songwriting skills, the production, the concept. While it's similar, it's also original. The instrumentation, the ragtime element, the chamber element, the dynamics, the female vocals, the vocal harmonies. The female singer, the lead singer, Kate DeGrade, I'm not sure if she says her name, whose husband, Neil, is one of the main songwriters, if not the main songwriter in Dirt Poor Robins. She's got a wonderful voice. Kind of like Amy Lee from Evanescence, but she also reminds me of some other singers at the same time. She just has a very distinct yet versatile voice, although some of the vocal parts, I guess, are recorded by some other people, the female vocals. And there's also a contrast because I think it's Neil who does the other lead vocals at points, especially on Act 3 and some other songs on Act 2, the Raven Locks Act 2. I could just rattle off some of my favorite songs I've been writing in the blog and posting on social media and message boards, but the song Irony has this just absolutely gorgeous, haunting, melancholy melody, talking about it's on your merits or something like that. I always thought when I first heard it, I thought she was saying marriage, but it's on your merits. But it's an earworm and it's gorgeous. The whole Act 3 is my favorite among the 5 records I've listened to, but after now taking in the first 2 albums more and the other acts besides Act 3, because Act 3 was the first one, Raven Locks Act 3, I can conclude that Raven Locks Act 3 is their most complete, sort of impressive and polished record, but every record, as I wrote in the blog last night, has multiple songs, catchy songs. Welcome to Lady Hell, of course, from Act 3, incredibly catchy. The earworm stays with you. It's well arranged. The little ragtime section in the middle is just infectious. The energy is off the charts. Great Vacation, which they originally recorded on their first album, The Cage, which is nice, but the new version's even better, maybe. I like both versions. Let's see here. I'm just on Act 3. Behold the Grave. The middle section and toward the end, just that's kind of a multi-part piece, but that's another highlight. Very progressive. Furthest Star kind of reminds me at the beginning of the Pepe Deluxe, but kind of a journey song. So, but talking about the rest of some of the other records, the Hollywood song is really catchy and energetic. Kind of ironic for me since I just went to Hollywood to see Michael Nesmith, and I started listening to this song. That's on The Cage, their first album. But the lyrics remind me in some ways of sort of the message, the experience, or the hope, but then despair of Hollywood and the entertainment industry, kind of like Kevin Gilbert's The Shaming of the True. The lyrics especially. Leviathan, the second album is called, not Leviathan, but it has Leviathan in the title. Let me just go back here real quickly. It's called The Last Days of Leviathan, but the title, the Leviathan song, has this absolutely ballsy, badass guitar solo that goes on for like 45 seconds toward the second half of it. That's a great tune off that record. Another one, the last song, which some listings show it as a bonus track, Ta-Da, is almost like Bring It On Home from Led Zeppelin, where it starts out slow, but then has maybe their heaviest riff and this most energetic part of any song that Dirt Poor Robins has written. It's off the charts. It's just in your face, punchy riff. The second half of that song. It's the last song really on the album, or it's considered a bonus track. I'm not sure. Though it talks about the grand finale, so I think ultimately it should be considered the last song on the second album, The Last Days of Leviathan. The first act, the Ravenlocks act, there's a song called Solemn Dream, which is absolutely gorgeous. The last minute and a half has this just uplifting piano section that kind of driven. It's a quick crescendo. It's just amazing. And they actually reprised that, I believe, on Act 2. Is it the Solemn Awakening reprisal? I can't remember what the name. Solemn Awakening? Solemn Awakening, yeah. Which takes that same part and kind of just continues on with it. And that's actually the last track on the Ravenlocks Act 2. But Speak to Me is another one that's just soaring, dreamy vocals from I think it's Neil. But I just can't say enough about the Dirt Poor Robins, and they're not a completely unknown band in that they have 4,500 likes on Facebook, but given that they've been around since 2007 or earlier, I'm just baffled as to why I never heard about them, and I'm so glad that I have. I wonder, I hope they have a long future ahead of them. The songwriting is just so impressive. The whole Act 3, I just love parts of every song especially, but every album is 3.5 stars or better. And I'm just so, it's really great to finally find a band that just has completely, I don't say possessed me, but, impressed me, and just, it's a breath of fresh air, really. That's what I was thinking last night. They really are a breath of fresh air for me. And I don't know how many more people will get into them, but I've noticed at least that a dozen people on some of the social media message boards that have enjoyed them, if not become almost obsessed like I am with them. I'd love to see them live too, of course, and maybe open for the Deer Hunter or something. So let's see here. The second topic, if I can go over, I wanted to talk about the Kimbra concert that I wrote a long review of. And the Kimbra concert, well, it was my fourth concert. As I wrote and emphasized toward the beginning of that review last week, I didn't get to meet her. I'm pretty much of the belief I never will meet her, unless it's either a meet and greet kind of thing where I'm paying to see her or something, or just dumb luck, because she hasn't come out right after the show, every show that I've been to. I waited around one of the times, and she just, scampered out to the bus. It was cold out, understandably, but I don't fault her. She likes her privacy. A lot of other musicians are similar, like Neil Peart or Michael Nesmith, or there's some others like that. But it's just too bad, because I really like her. I like her personality. I love her music, of course. The show itself was definitely different. She didn't have a drummer. It was a lot of electronics. She played 9 out of 12 tracks from her new record, Primal Heart, coming out on April 20th. And I'm wondering how much, the new album is going to have a lot of electronic sides to it. Some of the songs are really good. That song Everybody Know has really grown on me. Everybody Knows. A lot of the songs I like, but I'm a little caught off guard, and I don't know how much different the fan reaction is. The new songs almost, as a whole, reminded me of some of the stuff she was trying on Golden Echo, and then expanding upon some of the electronic, loopy, kind of synthy emphasized stuff. The live show, though, she did do a Prince cover, of course, a more obscure one off of a Musicology. My name, I forget what it is. Then it has the word name in it. And she played some guitar on that, actually, which she hasn't played guitar in a long time. But, she even did Settle Down and Two-Way Street, rearranged. Now, the video in the background kind of fit that, but my wife was not crazy about, even the rearrangements on those songs. And the Golden Echo stuff she did were sort of mid-level. I'm not that much into Love, whatever it's called. It's okay, but As You Are is okay too. I like that one a little more, but there's so many songs on the Golden Echo that I've never seen live. When I saw her in 2014, she did a few of them. She did Miracle, at least. But, you know, I don't think she did Carolina. I don't know if she did Gold Mine. Those have been two of the ones I would love to have seen, but whatever, you know. I was happy just to see her, of course, so... but my feeling is kind of, not really, but slightly in transition about Kimbra. She did say in a Reddit AMA, I remember talking about this upcoming album, that it's recorded differently than she's ever recorded before, and maybe a one-off type of process, so we'll see, but I don't think she wants to write Vows Part 2, as much as a lot of people, including myself, would be perfectly fine with that if the songs are there. They're catchy enough, so... The third thing I just want to go over quickly is I finally completed watching Electric Dreams, the Philip K. Dick anthology series that Ronald D. Moore of Star Trek Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Battlestar Galactica was largely behind, and Bryan Cranston was a producer. And I gotta say, I really did enjoy it, although it was sort of hit and miss. Some episodes were better than others, kind of like The Outer Limits or Twilight Zone. I don't know, like the Janelle Monáe episode was one of the best ones, where she's an android, but the revealing is everyone's android. It's kind of a spoiler, but and then there's a couple others that really stood out. One of the last episodes, the one where this British guy finds this, you know, uncharted town with this woman. That one was pretty revealing. I mean, some episodes didn't give as much closure as others, which kind of bugged me, but that one gave at least some closure. But I'm interested to see what they do with season 2. I don't know. I might try to write up and even talk a little more, maybe on video about it, because I got to get going here. But yeah, Electric Dreams. I'm happy Ronald D. Moore is doing that. It would have been nice if he would have been involved with the new Star Trek series, and I might have paid, but he's not. So he has another show he's been working on for a couple of years that's pretty renowned on one of the cable networks I should try checking out, but it might be HBO. I can't remember. But thank you for listening and listening to my babbling. I have some more stuff in the works, stuff to show. I ordered some new CDs. I probably will show the Dirt Poor Robins CD I just ordered, but Sculptured, and I have some more stuff to talk about and podcast about hopefully soon, and obviously make some more videos, some vinyl I haven't shown. But thanks for listening. Please give it a like. Comment what do you think of Dirt Poor Robins? Do you like the Deer Hunter? I would highly recommend them. What's your take on the new Kimbra tour? And have you seen Electric Dreams? I'd love to hear from you. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thanks. Bye.